from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Spotlight on this beautiful Wednesday morning. It is the first day of May. How exciting. And we're very happy this morning to be talking to the folks from Canton Christian Home. Of course, a longtime staple in this community, and certainly we enjoy sharing all of the information about Canton Christian Home and everything that they do. So this morning, I want to make sure that you know, first of all, we are live on Facebook. So just go to Facebook and find our Facebook page. You'll see us there. But also, we are live on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, search News Talk 1480 WHBC, you will also find us there. Now, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that way you'll get a little notification that we have some great things going on. So that's where we are this morning. And right now, I'd like to bring in from the Canton Christian Home, Executive Director Janine Stackhouse, and also the Director of Admissions and Marketing, Debbie Pritchett. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Glad to have you with us this morning. I want to start out. I said longtime staple, and that's definitely no lie. The Canton Christian Home, very well known in this community for sure. But why don't each of you tell us a little bit about yourself, because you both have been there for quite a while. But we'll start with you, Janine. Let us know a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I've only been at Canton Christian Home for about 7 months, but I have a lot of experience in the senior care area. So about 30 years for me. Can't believe I'm saying that now. It sneaks up on you. So I was blessed in October to be given this opportunity to lead this team here at Canton Christian Home. And I'm continuing to learn lots of great things. And the great team that we have here and the residents, learning every day from them as well. But my background has been in a lot of the post-acute areas with skilled nursing and inpatient rehab centers, and have a background in gerontology. So hopefully bringing some of that experience here, we continue to lead Canton Christian Home to be the expert in senior care. Debbie is a long-term veteran here, though.
Okay, very good, very good. That's what I was reading.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I started when I was 12.
That's right.
Right out of high school.
Me too.
Yes. So yes, I've been here for about 23 years. Came to Canton Christian Home right out of high school through the STNA program that they were offering here. Took my classes, was here as an STNA. Then I was promoted to the nursing office coordinator, where I did staffing, helped out with payroll, central stock, that kind of stuff, orientation. And then we brought medical billing in-house. So I started that project. And then I went back to school, got my nursing home license. And then I have been serving as the interim administrator last year until Janine came, which we're so glad she's here. She's great. So right now I am in charge of the marketing and admissions here at Canton Christian Home. So
Right.
it's really my second home.
Yes.
Absolutely. And so two great minds, and that's a wonderful thing. And, when you put experience like both of you have together, certainly that can, help a lot in making everything run smoothly. And you guys, honestly, that building is like a, I don't want to say a landmark, but it is kind of a landmark. When people drive by, or, exactly when you say Canton Christian Home, you know what you picture in your mind, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of background about the Canton Christian Home and some of the things that it offers.
Okay. Well, Canton Christian Home is a non-for-profit, and we're a continuing care community. So we have multiple levels of services here, and that includes senior apartments, all different kinds of senior apartments. It's just you're on your own, but we take care of a lot of the stuff for you. We also have the assisted living component here, where you can come in. You might not be totally independent. We need to prepare all of your meals for you. You might need some of our nursing assistants. That's our assisted living. And then we have the full complement of the skilled nursing side, where you can come for a short stay, or you can live here on a permanent basis. And most recently, with I would say like the last 6-7 months, we've ventured into a lot of respite stays with interim stay. Maybe the caregiver has to have some medical care themselves, and we take your loved one for a short term with no intention of keeping them long term and getting them back to your home. And we've been doing that also with our partners in our hospice community, where folks, again, maybe the caregiver needs something, and just letting them know that they're entitled to that benefit. We'll be the partner, and again, return you back to your home with your loved ones as your caregivers. So those are some of the services that we do here.
Yeah, and that is something I think that is unique for you guys, first of all, and also that, boy, it sure is helpful to a lot of people. Like, they may not even know that you offer that service.
That's right. That's right. And we've had folks come thinking it was going to be a short stay, and then they make us their home. They move to a new level within the building, and they make us their home, and they become part of our family here.
Yeah, I have a friend who he just recently, his mom is there now, and it's kind of a spur of the moment thing, which many times that's how it happens, and she was not completely thrilled that she had to go anywhere, but when she got there, her best friend in high school was there.
Oh, wow.
And she was so happy about that. And, I think that's the thing, is that you can't plan things like that, but do you find that, once people are brought into the situation and then they find their space, that they kind of, say, okay, you know what, this is a much better situation for me?
And sometimes they wish that they have done it earlier. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just last week, we brought somebody in, and her son was nervous. No one wants to make that decision for their family member. And she came in, and she was here one night. She called her son and said, "Sell the house. I'm never leaving." That's the story you want to hear. Yes.
And that's, for the caregiver too, that's such a relief moment that, you feel like, okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I guess there's an interesting story about how Canton Christian Home got started. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I remember the first time I heard it, it was in my job interview, and they shared the story about Canton Christian Home and how these group of women came to decide that at the First Christian Church back in 1950, they decided they needed a home for their congregation that were aging. They didn't feel there was an adequate space or facility that would provide them the care they needed and that faith-based environment. So they went to their minister and said, "Hey, we have this idea." He said, "Run with it." So I'm going to show you, for those of you that are watching, this is what they ran with. This is the original mason jar that was first passed around at any group or meeting at First Christian Church in Canton, Ohio, that started the seed money to open up Canton Christian Home as we know it today.
No kidding.
So just this small group of women, and they were called the East End Missionary Class. And they got this money together, and here we are 48 years later, and we're this huge
community,
4-story building taking care of close to 200 people. And it was just two women, or a few women, that came together and said, "We can do this." And you know what? That has not stopped since they opened the doors 48 years ago in 1976.
Yeah, 1976. That's
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I would venture to say that since 1976, Canton Christian Home has expanded and changed over those years, right?
Gosh,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we offer everything under one roof, from independent to assisted, short-term rehab, long-term care nursing, respite stays, like Janine said. I mean, anything you would want or would need is here at Canton Christian Home.
So if folks are interested in talking to you about that, or, maybe just kind of planning ahead a little bit, what should they do?
They should just call Canton Christian Home at 330-456-0004. Schedule a tour. Love to have you. Free lunch as well. If you would like to come have lunch, we have fantastic food here. That's actually one of our number one things that people always say is delicious here. So I would more than welcome you to come in and schedule a tour. Walk-ins are welcome too.
Yep.
So absolutely, please come see us.
That's always good to know. Yeah, because some people just like they think about it and then they just go. So that's always a good thing too. All right, we're going to take our first break. And when we come back, we have so much more to talk about. And we will do that. Our spotlight today is Canton Christian Home. Stay with us. Watch us on Facebook. Watch us on YouTube. And listen to us right here on 1480 WHBC.
back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
All right, welcome back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC. Pam Cook with you this morning on this first day of May, and we have been talking about Canton Christian Home and some of the wonderful things that they offer at Canton Christian Home. And we have with us this morning the Executive Director of Canton Christian Home, Janine Stackhouse, and also Director of Admissions and Marketing, Debbie Pritchett. And, I wanted to talk a little bit also about how things have changed for you. I know, guys, that, Debbie, we talked about you being there for 23 years. And of course, Janine, you being in the business in general for a long time, it's changed a lot over the years, hasn't it?
It sure has. I think the needs of the individuals that we serve have changed. We used to see folks enter a community like this at a lot earlier age. People are aging at home and in their own communities for a lot longer. We're seeing them access services later, whether it's healthcare or our services. So that's bringing us a little more complex patient or resident at times. But on the same side, we're also seeing people who are still very vital. And I think we're amazed every day of what folks can continue to do, rocking out in their 80s, 90s, and hundreds.
Yes.
We have hundreds here, and they participate in a very full and lively life here every day, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So talk about if someone walked in, they came in off the street saying they wanted a tour or sit down and talk to you. What kinds of things would you tell them about Canton Christian Home, the reason why they should choose Canton Christian Home?
Yeah, so that's me. I think it's different in all the departments of where they might fit in. So levels of care wise, independent living, they come in. I see a lot of folks come in because they're lonely at home. They want to interact with others. They want to maybe not make meals every day. They might need a little bit of help with medication. So I just really talk to the patient and the patient's family, try and see what exactly their needs are. I tell them about all the wonderful activities that we have to offer here. We have numerous activities throughout the day. If you want to be involved, you can. If you don't want to be involved, you don't have to. You can stay in your room. We have chapel service every Sunday, Bible studies every Wednesday. We have prayer time with just our residents here. They all kind of get together on Tuesday afternoon. They just pray for the residents, for the staff, for the families. We do outings, weekly outings for our residents. And that might consist of the ice cream stand down the store or down the street. It might be a restaurant, Hartville Kitchen, concerts, just a lot of different trips. We try to get them out of the building. Assistant living is a little different. There is a nurse manager that is involved in that. They do an assessment to make sure that we can meet their needs so that they're properly placed in assistant living. But going back to our independent living, we have 2-bedroom apartments, 1-bedroom apartments, studios, efficiencies. We have a variety of apartments to fit, the needs of the seniors, depending on what they're looking for.
Yeah.
We have a relationship with Malone College. So if you wanted to audit classes, you can do something like that. We have concerts often. It's a very musical environment. There's a lot of music and liveliness here with those activities, but they also do daily workouts. We have different things going on, the chair yoga, the working out with, her name just went out of my head, but a gal that comes in and does activities that is not employed by us, but from outside. We're trying to get that community in here for them as much as possible, and then also get them back out into the community so that they, just like you and I, as much as I hate to run to the grocery store, that might be someone's really important thing to be able to get their own food and that. And we are often told when folks come in and tour that, like, oh gosh, this is the warmest and most welcoming environment. Yes. And we had a survey not long ago, and the surveyor took the time to tell us what a beautiful, warm campus it was. She was here for one area, but had gone through the other areas. She's like, I go into these all the time, places like this, and your staff was just like, oh, hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? And they didn't know her. She
Yeah.
was very different to us. And I think those are things that people latch onto. And we do hear that very often. Our residents will make sure they come out and greet people, and they know who's new. They remember what it was like, and they help bring them into our community too.
Well, that says a lot. I mean, that really does say a lot, especially it's a person that comes in from the outside and they don't know who she is, and
Right.
approach her like that.
Yeah.
That can mean a big difference to
It
people for sure.
And then once they do move in, we have a buddy system here.
Yes.
So we have a handful of residents that love to be buddies to new residents.
Yeah.
So, they go and they greet them, and then they ask them to go to activities with them, dinners, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They just love that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That makes, it's like college all over again, That can make you feel good too. Yeah. What about, I would imagine that sometimes it goes the opposite, where maybe the resident is ready to come in, but the family's a little hesitant. How do you deal with that?
I think it's kind of the opposite. Usually the families are feeling
Usually
guilty.
is.
Yes, because the resident's not quite ready. So we try to do everything we can to make them feel comfortable. Sometimes I'll talk to the families and we kind of get a little scheme going on, like what mom likes or dad likes, and how can I help you sell this place to mom or dad. But honestly, once they come here, it sells itself. We're just so warm and welcoming and calming. I think it's just like being home. And in any room that you're in here at Canton Christian Home, whether it's independent, assisted, or nursing, you can make it your own. You can bring your own furnishings from home, pictures to put on the wall. We really encourage that.
Yeah.
So,
and if you grew up in this area, you recognize the building right away. Canton Christian Home. So that's a good thing too.
I think that was a big effort that went on last year in 2023, making a lot of the nursing home beds into private rooms. That increased the dignity and respect that someone can come living here. Most of us don't always share a room, a home, let alone a room.
Yeah.
So we have adopted that model where that can be more home-like for them. And then, of course, the apartments and assisted living, that's always kind of been that way. Bring in your own belongings. And I think for kids that are adjusting, because it can be an adjustment to say, that's a big transition. You're already transitioning to taking over tasks that were moms for 80 years. And now we're always 12, no matter how old we are. When it comes to our parents, we're 12 and making those decisions. So I think oftentimes it's just encouraging them to listen to their parent or their whatever relative or friend they're helping. Just listen to them because they're telling you. And once you accept that permission, things are okay. And my background happens to be social service. And I used to always tell people when we were helping plan to make those decisions, your job's not over. It's just changed and you have new partners.
Yeah, good point.
That's all you have to remember. Your job's not over. It's just new. And you just like your children, you didn't drop them off thinking you were off the hook. You're not off the hook here either.
Yeah.
You'll be part of it, asking us questions, holding us accountable, and making sure that the services are in place that your parents need. And if we're good at our jobs, we won't be offended by that. We should expect that. And when you don't ask us, then I think there might be more problems. So, yeah.
Good point. Very good point. All right, we're going to take a break for the news, and we'll come back. We'll talk more about Canton Christian Home here on Spotlight on this Wednesday morning on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
All right, welcome back to Spotlight on News Talk 1480 WHBC. Pam Cook with you here this morning. And again, don't forget, we are live on Facebook, and also we are live on our YouTube channel right now, as you are also listening on 1480 WHBC. And we are talking with folks from Canton Christian Home, and we've been having a great discussion about all the things that this longtime staple in the Canton community offers. And we have with us this morning, of course, Janine Stackhouse is the Executive Director of Canton Christian Home, and Debbie Pritchett, Director of Admissions and Marketing. And, you know, sometimes I think people are fearful of, approaching the subject of, bringing their loved one to assisted living or things like that, because they don't know what it's going to be like. They are fearing the backlash of a family member, and they don't know what it's going to cost and how that works and all of those things. What do you suggest for somebody who has all of that running through their mind?
I would suggest that they just give us a call. I get calls all the time just asking questions. I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to insurances, just the services that we offer here, the needs that the residents might need, and kind of where I think they might need placement at. And I just think that I have a really great, friendly presence about myself, that it's just easy for anybody to just have a conversation with me.
Yeah. And I think too, it's like we put in the senior source book this year, a comparison. And so take your current expenses. Expense is the number one question. I think many times folks know that they need it. It's time to downsize. It's mom or dad might need a little more oversight. My commitment cannot be what they need 100% of the time, but it's that financial fear. So even using that, take that through, come in, talk to us. We can do a side-by-side compare with you, or, do your research with that. There's a lot of benefits that sometimes folks never even tap into that they have. I think oftentimes we think just solely of our pensions and our Social Security. However, if you were a veteran, you may have veteran benefits. And a lot of times that's enough to get you through that. And now you don't have the stress of the debt. Selling your home. We can work with folks. Your home is your largest investment, and it can pay you back too. So there's things that we can work with folks doing the sale of their home. It's really just that side-by-side comparison. And I think you start to see that, oh, okay, yeah, that property tax won't be my problem anymore. Lawn care, not my problem anymore. And it's all inclusive. And so people then start to feel that sense of relief, and it's not as scary. And Debbie is really good at that billing expertise that she has, is really good at looking at how we can make the most out of what you have. And because we have so many different levels, different room sizes, we're not like one size fits all. You may want an efficiency, but that sounds a little scary to think I'm going into an efficiency. Right. So, again, call us at that 330-456-0004 and schedule to come in with us, and we'll go through all of that with you.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're signing on the dotted line.
Okay.
That's the other. It's not like a car salesman.
Exactly. And studies have told us it's about 180 days for folks to make that full commitment. You got to vet a lot of things, and you should do your homework on both sides. And don't rush it. It doesn't, you don't want to wait till it's a catastrophic event that brings you in. We often see that, but you can take your time. And like I said, nationally, that decision takes about 180 days for someone to first access this level to the day they move in. So nobody's expecting you to make, like you said, that high pressure used car salesman. Sorry to beat them up, but that's not our approach, and that should not be any approach. So
yeah, it's a process, right?
Exactly.
That's what everybody has to work on.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about the food. let's talk about the food just for a minute, because I'm a foodie, and I'm sure that's like, I know my mom. She's 89. She lives with me.
Yeah.
Food is at the top of our list every single day.
Yeah, me too. From when I eat it to the next one I'm going to get. And
yes, exactly.
so we do a lot of things around food here. First of all, we just started with a brand new chef. So she's getting in place here, established with us. But our food director has been here 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah, she grew up here too.
Yes. Yes.
So she meets with our residents. She finds out your likes personally. And then she tries to incorporate some of those things into our menus. She meets with them as a group on a monthly basis. We call it a food council, and that's for all levels. And not every level wants all the same stuff. So she has to massage that menu. We have a cafe that's open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night. You can come and get a la carte. You can eat entrees that are offered for that day. We host wonderful events. I came, like I said, in October. So my first big event to celebrate with Canton Christian Home was our Christmas gala. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a Christmas dinner. It was a gala.
Yes.
Like residents came in, their families are included in that. That's a gift from the facility to those of you who live with us. We serve you at tableside. It was beautiful. They got entertainment. They were dressed up. The desserts were out of this world, and we got to do that 3 times in December. Oh my gosh,
yes.
It was wonderful. And Thanksgiving dinners opened up to the families. Easter Sunday we just celebrated here, and we're getting ready to do our
Mother's Day brunch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and it is a big part. Food gets us to come out and get going, and to become part of something. And I love it when they give us their recipe, and then we make that, and that's Mary's recipe, and it's a little bit of home then, right? It may not be exactly the same as what everyone else had for their that dish, but everyone can relate to it then, and the conversations start. And we do made to order breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so
it's not just continental breakfast.
No.
It's a hot breakfast.
Yeah, if you want
basically anything.
That's right. A dippy egg, you get a dippy egg.
And they know what a dippy egg is, right?
Exactly. So the food is good here.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And all that goes along with the social interaction. Talk about that too. I mean, why that's so important.
Well, we're all social beings at different levels, but that social interaction is so important. And what we're finding, especially with seniors, is when that decreases, loneliness, isolation increase, and then things start to go wrong with us, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, we're impacted. And we have seen that there's more and more importance to staying connected. So even with like disease prevention, when you're connected to somebody every day, like you would be here, those awareness levels increase and your prevention increases, and you start to care for yourself. And then that connection gives us a purpose. And once we have a purpose, we start to see that we take care of ourselves. Those health problems go away because we get earlier interventions. Right? Because we're caring for ourselves, others are looking after us, and then we start to see that improve longevity over time. And once we see that, we can see some cognitive improvement, because when you're alone and you're not interacting, cognition starts to slow down.
Yeah.
Or you turn it over to someone else to make all your decisions, and that isn't really living. So we see that. And then when we start to feel better about ourselves, we start to identify with others, we become part of a group. Mm-hmm. And then we start to recognize that we have a belonging. And once we belong, hey, we're there, right? That's the best we're going to be. And we start to lead a more purposeful life. And that's what our mission is, right? Every day here, we want that to empower seniors to live a full life. And I think that social interaction plays into that in every step of the way. To have your spiritual needs met here, to have your physical needs met here, to have your social needs met here. All of that comes together, and we actually see that people extend their life in a quality way, not just in days on a calendar. And I think that's so important.
It's all about living and not just existing.
Yes, we're thriving, not
Yes,
just
we are.
surviving. Yes.
Yeah, that's all a big part of it, for sure.
Yeah.
Brings up their self-esteem too. They feel good about themselves, and they just, I would imagine that sometimes people get there and say, I'm not participating, I just want to whatever. And then that changes as time goes on.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
And we keep you connected with your community. Just yesterday, we have a retired firefighter that lives here, and we have a retired firefighter. That's a tongue twister. Firefighter who works here.
Yes.
And to keep him connected, he got to go to a funeral of their fire chief.
Oh, wow.
Like that's keeping him going.
Mm-hmm.
That's community. He was socially connected through our employee, through his community, to his old fire department. That's what it's about. And even though it was, a sad event, he was full of life being able to do that. He was so glad, because probably had he lived at home, that wouldn't have been able to happen. By being here with us, we were connected. Yeah. And then we got him connected, and he stayed connected. It's, story after story.
Yes. Yeah. And he was still part of it. That's great.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. We'll take our final break, and we will come back, finish things up. And again, we have Canton Christian Home as our spotlight on this Wednesday morning. And if you have any questions, obviously you can contact them. You can call them. You can stop in and see them. And Canton Christian Home is very easy to find, and we'll continue. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube Live right now as well on 1480 WHBC.
The WHBC YouTube offers a look into what's happening in your community. Hear from names like Robert Brazil and Joe DeLamolier as the Hall of Famers visit Canton and stop by the Kenny and JT Show. Parkinson's affects the lives of so many in today's world. During Parkinson's Awareness Month, Dr. Stan Anderson talked with Pam Cook about signs, treatment, and more. The body camera footage of a Canton police arrest turned deadly has been released. You can watch it on our YouTube. Just search 1480 WHBC YouTube and be sure to subscribe.
I was talking with my friends Bonnie and Lonnie at Canton Christian Home, and I asked them if they would be this active if they were still living in their own home. And what do you think they said? No. They said that if they were in their own home, they would be bored and lonely. At Canton Christian Home, they are thriving, meeting new people, enjoying interesting programs, and having a meal with friends. Why not join them? See all there is to offer at cantonchristianhome.org or call 330-456-0004.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
Hey guys, don't be that dad without life insurance. When thanks to Ethos, you can be that great dad with life insurance to help keep his family living exactly like they do now. Secure and protected in the event of the unexpected. With a fast and easy online experience, some policies as low as $1 a day and up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Just a few health questions. Ethos makes getting life insurance protection hassle-free. E for easy, E for Ethos at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
My whole identity had been wrapped up in being a soldier. To have that so violently ripped from me when I was wounded, I was lost for a very long time. When Wounded Warrior Project came into my life, being around the other warriors, people that had similar experiences that I did, it was a game changer for me. Having King join the group, that was the beginning of a really good friendship. It's a good time.
I first heard about Wounded Warrior Project through CQ. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I qualify. But having been a part of it, it's kind of taught me that it's not just the wounds that you can see, but it's those that you can't.
When you do something like a peer support group with Wounded Warrior Project and come together from different walks of life, man, the growth is incredible. If not for Wounded Warrior Project, I really don't think that I'd be here today.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And again, we have been talking with folks from Canton Christian Home today. And if you missed any of this interview, our Spotlight this Wednesday, you can always go to Facebook or go to our YouTube channel and find it there. And you can watch it from the very beginning if you'd like to do that. We'd appreciate that. That would be wonderful. And again, talking with Janine Stackhouse, who is the Executive Director of Canton Christian Home, and also Debbie Pritchett, who is the Director of Admissions and Marketing at Canton Christian Home. They are with us this morning. And I want to kind of finalize and figure out everything that they are doing as far as events go, and finish up talking with them about things they have planned and all of the exciting things they have planned coming up, because they do a lot of events there besides all of the things that they do for the residents in a normal day. Like they were talking about all of the fun things, but you guys do all kinds of things outside of those, card games and going on little field trips and things like that. So tell me a little bit about some of the events that are coming up.
Sure. So we are having a senior scam awareness event that is on Thursday, May 30th. It is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It is basically some great information to help seniors protect themselves from scams. Speakers include representatives from the Better Business Bureau, Social Security Administration, First Commonwealth Bank, state and local agencies. We will also have the Sheriff's Department, Mercy Cleveland Clinic, and Altman Generation representatives here on site to answer questions, to provide information. The event is free to seniors. We are offering a fantastic lunch. Yes. You do have to RSVP though. And you can do that by calling the home at 330-456-0004. That is at Canton Christian Home, which is 2550 Cleveland Avenue Northwest in Canton, Ohio. We are actually right in front of Malone College. So if you're not sure where Canton Christian Home is and know where Malone is, we are right there.
Yeah, easy to find, like I said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going back to the senior scams, it's reported by the FBI that scams for seniors are up by 84% from 2021 to 2022. And the Better Business Bureau says that only about 10% of those scams cases are actually reported.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
We want to highlight scams for seniors. So we welcome all seniors to please come to our event. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, and it's amazing because people don't think about it. I think until I sat down with my mom and explained to her why something was a scam. Yeah. Here's the reason. Think about this. Then a light bulb went off. Yeah.
I think some of the speakers will touch base on, when you're getting that call, what not to say. Yep. What information should you not give out. So it's going to be a really great event. We have events though all throughout the year. We have a really great event called our Chicken Barbecue coming up in June as well, and we cook chicken, and you get like a side dish and a dessert and a drink, and it's a drive-by, like a drive-through. So you buy your tickets in advance. We let you know what time to come by. You can just drive by. We run the food out to your car, and all the proceeds from that does go back to the Canton Christian Home residents here that live here.
It's through our auxiliary, which we failed to touch on. But
Yeah.
back to the history, that started with that small group. That small group of women still exists today in Canton Christian Home's benevolent auxiliary. And there's about 18 women who still help us with some of these events and doing events for our residents on a monthly basis. They earn money, and then that money is reinvested back into Canton Christian Home for things for the residents. And the chicken barbecue that Debbie's talking about is a partnership with that benevolent auxiliary group. And of those 18 women, we probably have five women that actually live here in the senior apartments, who are active members of that auxiliary and help come out and help put this on with all of our other events. The other day we had a big birthday party that they sponsored, and everybody celebrated their birthday all on one day. We didn't have to disclose age to get a piece of cake, but everyone was celebrated. So that was another event. But Debbie, you have some other ones coming up too here besides the barbecue.
Yes, Strawberry Festival, June 13th, featuring delicious strawberry flavored desserts and savories. We're going to have some great entertainment, musical entertainment. Music is big here at Canton Christian Home. We have a few residents that are really, really talented. One of our residents plays just about every day at 4:00 for our residents. Anybody and families. Some families come in right around that time just to hear him play the piano. So that is really great for us, and our residents really enjoy that.
We have two. We have a grand piano, and a baby grand piano here that are utilized probably every day.
And both have been donated by the residents that are here with us now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the way, like you said, living, not existing. That's a perfect thing for folks at Canton Christian Home. All right, give us address, phone number, and all that good information for folks.
Sure. So our address here is 2550 Cleveland Avenue Northwest. That's in Canton, Ohio. And our phone number is 330-456-0004. We are here. Our receptionist is here from like 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. So they will connect you to whatever department you would like to speak to, whether it be Janine, myself. We also have another admissions person on our staff here. Her name is Terry Schaefer. She came to us in March, so she's been a true asset to us as well.
You've probably seen her on our Facebook or Instagram pages. She's out there.
Very good. Yeah, follow them on Instagram as well, and Facebook, and stop by and see them if you have questions. And I am so glad you had a chance to come on with us today and share everything. And folks, you can go to Facebook, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Thanks, ladies, for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, WHBC.
Yes, thank you.
I was talking with my friends Bonnie and Lonnie at Canton Christian Home, and I asked them if they would be this